100,000 years ago, fear was the very thing that kept us alive. We had to react to that noise in the bushes. We had to panic. We had to have this flood of adrenaline. But now, the very thing that was keeping us alive, fear, is the thing that is keeping us from the life that we want to have. Fear creates paralysis and it gets in the way of you and your success. In many ways, this whole journey of life is just one exercise in you facing and overcoming your fears. But we also all know how difficult and paralyzing that can be. What if I was to tell you that in just 5 simple steps, you could identify and overcome any fear that you have? So first is write your fear down. So this is simple. Take a piece of paper and literally just write down the thing that you're afraid of. The reason that this is so important is that your fear is going to have the most power over you when it's in the recesses of your subconscious mind, and you may not even realize that you have it. When you write your fear down, now you can engage your conscious mind and you can actually start to work on it. So step 2 is to rephrase your fear. So what you're gonna do in this step is you're gonna take the fear from the first step and you're gonna actually rephrase it into just an obstacle to be overcome or a problem to be solved. So for example, let's say you have a dream career and a dream job and you want to start moving toward it. So let's use a real example. Let's say that you want to switch from a career in accounting to a career in marketing. Your fear might be, I'm not going to be good at marketing and I don't know how to do it. I might go backwards in pay. I might be unemployed. Those are all real fears. And again, when those are in the recess of your mind, they're going to keep you from doing anything. So rephrase it as a problem to be solved, an obstacle to be overcome. How would I learn marketing? Who could teach me? Who are some river guides that could help me get a job in marketing? What kind of firms are hiring? Those are all now just action items. They have nothing to do with this nebulous fear that's floating around in your head, and they're just not that intimidating. You've removed the weight of this fear and just made it something to work on. So now you've identified the fear, you've taken it out of your subconscious, you've formulated it into just a problem to be solved. Now we can work on step 3. So step 3 is, what's the worst case? So what is the worst case? So your subconscious mind is actually dealing with that worst case when you're thinking about your fear. That's what it's dealing with. So let's just write that down. The worst case is you leave your accounting job, you're unemployed, and you have no income coming in. That's probably the worst thing that could happen in this scenario. So you have 2 options. One is, can you live with that worst case? Or 2, can you improve on it? So a lot of times the worst case we create is something we could actually live with. And then once again, we've relaxed that fear. And secondly, in this case, if you can't live with having no income coming in, then how could you improve on it? Well, first you could learn marketing before you quit your job. You could have another job lined up. You could have a job that is very similar in income to your accounting position. And so now you've taken this thing that you're really scared of and you're just kind of leveling it up. And what that does is you've now created a worst case that you can actually live with. So the 4th step is insert the words in 5 years. The reason that this is so important is that anytime you're gonna make a change in your life, things are gonna get worse first. So if you think about what causes us to make a change, it's when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. So let me show you what that looks like. So let's say that this is a graph, and on this axis is your happiness, and on this axis is time. The way that your life kind of looks is you have these intermittent peaks, and then valleys, and then peaks and valleys, and peaks and valleys, and it kind of goes on like that for life. And let's say that right now you're here, and this is you in your accounting job today. Well, you have to make a deal with your future self out here that this peak is something you're going to work toward, because the first move you're going to have is always going to be worse first. So when you're going from your accounting job to your marketing job, it's going to get worse. You're going to have to learn a new skill. You may have to take a pay cut, and you're going to have to go find a new job. So this is all going to get worse first. But then insert the words in 5 years. And what you're really saying is 5 years from now, my future self 5 years from now, will I wish I would have started embarking on this journey? And I guarantee you the answer will be yes. There's one more step. The 5th and final step is take action. Nothing will move you toward overcoming your fear faster than taking action. Even if it's just one small step, take that step. So if you're trying to move to this peak of finding a new marketing career, you could send an email to someone who's spent their career in marketing. You could get coffee with someone in marketing. You could go find 10 firms that are recruiting in marketing. You could download marketing courses, but start moving in the direction you want to go, and that will help you overcome fear faster than anything else you could do. So there you have it, 5 steps to overcoming fear. You identify your fear by writing it down. You rephrase it in an obstacle that you can overcome. You identify a worst case that you could live with, or you improve on that worst case to make it one you can live with. You make a deal with your future self. In 5 years, what will I wish I would have done today? And finally, you take the first step forward. Research shows that one of the best ways you can do to commit to moving forward is to commit publicly. So take a moment, write in the comments, what's the fear that you're committed to overcoming?